Why is the process of car buying so ridiculous? I go through Costco to skip the awful process. I've bought 2 cars that way and will never go through the negotiation process again. I can't prove it, but I sometimes wonder if any parts of the process are dragged out on purpose to create a willingness to just sign and get it over with, even when some of the terms are unfavorable. I do all the homework online before ever going to the dealer. Most dealers have their inventory listed online. You can pick the exact car you want and see the price. Then it's just a matter of calling them and saying, "I want this one. Is it still available? I'll be there to pick it up Tuesday." If you have financing already approved through your bank, the paperwork is minimal. Yes, many dealers still play the tactics of the 80s and 90s of wearing you down. All the information is out there on pricing, invoice price, rebates, incentives, trade values. You can use many "we buy your car" services like Carvana to get an estimate. Do your homework. Be an informed consumer. Figure pricing and financing out before you walk in the dealership. Do not shop based on payment. If you don't want to invest the time and energy, use a car broker. They will offer pre-arranged deals for a flat service fee. I repeat, do not shop based on payment. I feel you. I once walked into a dealership with a car that I wanted and a list of options I wanted. I told them I wasn't paying any additional options and I gave them the price I was willing to pay. The salesman kept bringing me printouts of the right car but nowhere near the options I wanted. Each time would take 10 minutes. Finally I started walking out and he was like, "Why are you leaving?" I told him, "I made it easy and told you exactly what I wanted. You keep showing me things I don't want. Why would I stay?" Quote, the sales manager happened to be sitting right there, so he asked for 5 minutes of my time. He wasn't able to find me the exact car I wanted, but it was pretty darn close and I bought it for about the price I said I was going to pay. I think I ended up paying slightly more, but it came with a few pricey options I didn't need. So I thought it was a fair deal. In conclusion, I think there are a lot of salespeople out there that are so desperate for the sale that they lose sight of what the customer wants. So they'll do anything they can to make that sale. That may mean wasting time tracking down cars that don't exist or trying to sweet-talk the finance people into making bad, for them, deals. Both cases can end up wasting a ton of time and pissing off the customer. Car dealers are a parasitic business that has no reason to exist. They are only there to leech money from a transaction that doesn't require them. Dealership owners, 1%ers, often among the richest fish in their local ponds, give lots of money to state officials to preserve laws that ban direct automobile sales. Get rid of those bans, and these guys suddenly need to justify their existence. I just have them call me when they get the numbers ready. I'm not sitting captive for hours at a time. They've tried and it's exhausting. Like, I already had financing and wasn't trading a car last time as it was my son's car. And they still tried to play the long waiting game. I honestly think they just all move slow. They could be faster, but they don't care about us. Sitting in a car dealership and I feel like I want to run away. What's stopping you from just running away? If you haven't signed any papers yet, you are free to walk away if you don't like how you are being treated. What's really annoying is waiting for finance when you are writing a check for the whole purchase price. I suppose you want to run my credit before you take the check. But it's been on the table from the get-go that I'm not financing anything. As for why the circus is what it is, tradition. If cars were sold like computers, the price is $15,000. That's just what it is. Take it or leave it. People would think they are getting ripped off even if that's the same price they would have paid. After all the back and forth, Because every step, you get accosted by scammers. Dealerships are the worst. I just bought a car less than a month ago. Even though it was a used Grand Cherokee 2013 Overland. At a Lincoln dealership, the sales team were phenomenal. Treated us as if we was buying a brand new fully loaded Navigator or Aviator. It took about 4-ish hours. The sales part was quick and finance part did take maybe 2 hours. Only reason it took so long was because the salesman went and got it detailed. It was clean when I looked at it and drove it, and made sure the oil change and all the other maintenance was recent. They even offered to buy us dinner since it took so long. Some places are great, others not so much. The last 2 cars I've bought have been Teslas. I'm no Elon fan, but I didn't have an issue buying either one. I went with my mom about 5 years and she was buying a new Camry. She was writing a check for the full amount, and it still took them about 3 hours for all the paperwork. No idea why it took that when there was no haggling, no financing, just a straight cash deal. Same thing when I bought my daughter a used car. Haggled briefly and cut them a cashier's check in full. Again, took hours. I bought my last car from Enterprise Car Sales, a division of Enterprise Leasing. The price is the price, no haggling, and is based on Kelley Blue Book value. The cars are inspected and certified. The Carfax report is on the website and free. You know the mileage. You know the ownership and the state. It was driven in. You have detailed pictures of the car's interior, exterior, tires, and engine. You get a 12-month, 12,000-mile powertrain warranty, and a year of free roadside assistance. Check their online site to view the cars that interest you the most. Check sites like Edmunds.com to get comprehensive reviews online, as well as YouTube to see evaluations and driving. Get pre-approved at your bank or credit union to be sure you get the best interest rate, and go in armed for bear to do a test drive. In and out in just an hour or 2 without the need for KY jelly. I'm researching my next car now and will be buying from Enterprise again. It was the best, least exasperating car buying experience I've ever had in more than 50 years of driving. Be aware that not every car on their website is an ex-rental. They also buy cars at auction. The Carfax report will tell you if it is a rental, lease, or private ownership. I pulled out my phone and set a countdown timer. Told the guy the first was leaving in 5 minutes, but if he could get me a solid price before then I'd consider it. Guy starts the, well, I could ask my manager about. I said, sure, but you've wasted 12 seconds already. 4:48 left. Tick tock. The guy hustled his ass and was back in about 3 minutes. No more games that day. We got our deal done. I said I'd be back the next day to pick up the car. I did the same thing with the finance guy. I called the next morning and told him I would be in at 11 a.m. but was leaving at 11:05. If he wanted me to sign something, make sure to have it printed and ready to go. Pulled out the countdown timer. That time I did have to walk out while he was going on about rust coating. Manager and sales guy chased me down waving papers. You just have to be crystal clear that you will not play games. Period. If you do all the financing yourself, you can have them skip the crunching numbers portion. As for the manager, I'm not gonna sit here and go back and forth with you and the manager. If you can't get me a deal and have to talk THR manager, just let me work it through the manager. It's a historic artifact of the dealership system. Laws were passed to protect local dealers because they were expensive. Now 50+ years later we're still dealing with the following effects. Tell them that having sat alone for a few minutes, you're not sure about buying a car today. Tell them you're leaving and might stop back another day. They typically shop your application to a bunch of banks, so it can take a few hours to get it all set. If you have middling credit trying to buy a $55,000 Ford F-150 on a $60,000 USD salary and a $1,000 down payment, then they are trying hard to find you financing. I have done the entire deal in 45 minutes. But I already had a line of credit open with the institution I got my loan through, and I had all the paperwork for my trade-in also financed by the company my new loan was going through. It sort of cut through all the noise and got me in and out of there. The surprising thing is how little dealers make on each car they sell. For the basic car, it's only about 23% of the price. It's the added on extras, the accessories, the financing, that makes them money, plus the servicing and parts. Servicing is above 35% profit. Parts, about 25%. The average used car makes them about £500. But most they just take straight to auction, with a very good idea of what they'll get for it. They don't trade in for profit. It's just to get you to buy.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Aircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.